Are you a control freak? Well, let's be honest here. You and I know if forced to be a control freak versus being out of control, we choose to be in control. Yet to always be in control of every situation one might find themselves in is impossible. For instance, you might feel out of control over how much you'll have to hand over to the government one day when you take money out of that tax-infested 401k you've been socking money into. You might feel out of control that the banks are paying next to nothing in interest for the use of your money. Might feel out of control as to when and if the next stock market dive is going to take place, which usually happens about every 7 years. And finally, the feeling of being out of control as our friends in Washington spend and borrow our way towards more and more inflation. Don't believe me? Just head over to the gas pumps as we have to pay an arm and a leg to fill up our gas tanks. So why am I so confident that more and more savers are feeling more out of control than ever before? Because each and every day they tell me so. Folks, unlike a lot of financial pundits and financial entertainers who really don't work directly with savers, I do. And to prove my point, I asked our own Shanna Petty, who sets up all of my appointments, to confirm how many people I've seen through this year alone, and already that number tops 1,225 savers. And you know what they're all looking for? More control over their money and their future. So how can you get that feeling of being in more control? Well, you first have to take charge of the things you can control. And here's a few things to get started. First, decide for yourself how safe you want to play it with this money and stick to the plan. With savers, what I've discovered is that the more you have in a safe position, the more you're going to feel in control. Number two, assuming you are okay with putting some of your money at risk, determine the level of risk and how much of a percentage of money you want at risk. Our money management platform at Tony Walker Financial will help you do this. Our role is to help savers determine their level of risk. Then we choose the investment portfolio that we feel best matches their risk score. And we do all of this at a very, very low fee, about half of what most money managers charge to do the same thing. Number three, take charge by working with someone who is a fiduciary. Not sure if the person you're working with or talking to is a fiduciary, then you got to ask them to provide this form called Form ADV Part 2. If they won't provide you this form, chances are they are not a fiduciary and sadly are not obligated to work in your best interest. We are. In fact, besides myself, we have 3 other salaried fiduciaries whose main job is to be sure that you are taken care of both now and long after Tony Walker is dead and gone. And finally, before we ever purchase any financial product, we need to make sure to take charge of our situation by demanding, I mean this now, demanding something in writing from the financial advisor before you invest. Oh, speaking of one of our 3 salaried fiduciaries, I thought it would be good to turn to our own Heather Hughes, a fiduciary who knows a thing or two about our process that we share with our clients and why so many of our clients are more confident in their future than ever before. Well, good morning, Heather.
Good morning, Tony. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, and thank you so much for being with us. And as we talked, our theme is how to get more confidence in your future by being in more control. And what I wanted you to do is speak briefly to 2 issues that we have come up. First of all, a lot of times after I spend time with a client during that second meeting where I provide their assessment, in many cases you'll follow back up with them. So speak to, I guess, first of all, how appreciative they are that we follow up, but any confidence they might be sharing with you about our process as they learn more about what we do at Tony Walker Financial.
Oh, absolutely. So typically I follow up within 1 to 2 weeks of them meeting with you, just to check in to see if they have any questions over the plan you presented. But some of the feedback that I always get is that, one, they've never really seen a game plan laid out for them for retirement. And so that's always new, and they appreciate all the effort and work we've put in prior to that. And then 2, that the fact that they're no longer a number. So we're checking into them to see their, how they're doing. If they have any personal questions on all of that, they need further explanation. I'm there to, hopefully alleviate some fears or any kind of questions that they may have.
Oh, you're so helpful in that regard. Thank you so much. And then secondly, let's imagine somebody decides to join the ranks with Tony Walker and Financial and become a client, and 3 years goes by and we're servicing their accounts and everything, but then all of a sudden something changes. Maybe there's something that happens in their retirement nobody could plan for, and then hopefully the confidence they feel when they call us, knowing we can call up that game plan and jump into action.
Absolutely. So, one thing's for sure is life changes. So with our proprietary software, we're allowed to make those changes, tweak their plan as things come up. So it may be they retire sooner than anticipated, they get an inheritance. You never know. So, we're allowed in that software to make the changes to accompany whatever they're going through with life right now.
And we talk about this a lot. Can you imagine if we didn't have that proprietary software? I know when you started years ago with me, you had to do those long spreadsheets, but speak to also the fact that people, at least the feedback I get, and I know you get it too, but just how easy it is for them to finally understand what it is they have and then how they're going to use and enjoy this money.
Oh, sure. So, they finally have something on a one page that's like lists all of their assets, when to start accessing funds from which account, and it all makes sense to them. And then they can kind of see the end result too. That's one thing that we always strive for with retirement planning. We don't want them to run out of money. And so this is a way for them to see that we can actually accomplish that goal for them.
Well, speaking of confidence, Heather, it allows me, I see a lot of people each week. I think as we record this show in mid-November 2021, I think I got 40 appointments this week or something. But believe me, it helps me so much to know that we have the people like yourself and Trey and Wes and all the staff that can be there for them. So first of all, I just appreciate you so much being there for our clients and all of the service work that you oversee there in the Bowling Green office. So thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, have a good day.
Thanks. You too. Take care.
Will do. So if you aren't feeling in control of your money and your future, if you feel less confident about your money than ever before, let's talk. To get started learning more about Tony Walker Financial, all you do is log on right now to TonyWalkerFinancial.com and click on that Let's Get Started. Or if you like, simply call the toll-free number on your screen.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like, check out these other clips. And be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button for more videos.